So I'm going to do a cold start on the Volvo. It hasn't been started for, I guess, a few days. And let's go ahead and do that first. All the locks work properly. So, starts right up perfect every time. Absolutely no smoke. It's a well-maintained car, and garage kept. Was bought by a woman new, and here's just like new. You saw in the pictures the carpets are all like new underneath. And oops, it's just a leaf. And it's ready to go. It has the tires are old, so it should have a round of rubber on it. It was bought by this woman new, and she then passed it down to her adult son. He is now in his 60s, and unfortunately there's sickness in the family, and they don't need as many cars as they had. They had two, so now they only need one, and so that's why they no longer needed the car. Everything seems to operate as if it were new on this car. It drives just right. Very quiet. Went through Virginia State safety inspection. So it's got a current sticker on the windshield, good until July of 24. As I said before, the only thing that I know that the car needs is the tires are old. They have good tread on them, but they're from around 2010. In recent years, the car hasn't had as many miles put on it as it, originally did in the earlier years, and so I guess they didn't see a strong need to replace the tires. And now we're doing 60 miles an hour, and there's no vibration, there's no sound. It's just very as smooth as can be. At a little more than, say, 65 miles an hour. Off the wheel, and just continues to go straight as an arrow down the road. Here to get back onto the beltway, I'd like to talk about the odometer reading on the car because it's a little complicated. The car is being sold, true mileage unknown. The family who bought the car brand new, owned it until a couple of months ago, says that the odometer was broken for maybe a couple of months, and then they had it fixed, and they estimated maybe 1,000, 2,000 more miles on it than it showed. So that's the first thing. As I said, the speedometer and odometer do work, but the other thing is that the great saving grace is that we have all the records, delivery records and service records from new on the car, almost all show the odometer reading, and so you can see that this is say 90,000 mile, one family owned car, give or take, in terms of mileage. But it's crazy, but you can see by the service records that at one point, and probably no one noticed at the time, but the car went in for service, and the service writer, instead of writing, I think it was 44,000 miles on the ticket, wrote down 444,000 miles clearly it doesn't match any of the history of the car. And then to top it off, the mileage that was written down when it left service was 44,000 and change. So a very obvious mistake, but it stuck with it. And so, it's clearly an error, but that is part of the history of the car. If you just take a look at carefully through the records, you'll see that the service writers were a little sloppy when they wrote down when they recorded the mileage. I saw another small error that didn't make any sense too, but on a much, much smaller scale, where they evidently wrote down the mileage wrong. It happens sometimes. Just a nice car. Handles great, very tight. Just a sweet car. From a drive, and we're gonna do a walk around on the car. It is quiet. And all the jams are really nice and clean. Car smells good inside. The doors shut well. Everything is clean. You can't replicate nice, clean originality like this. It's only original. It's almost like it's never been used. Spare's brand new. The jack's never been touched. Super straight down the sides. All the rubber's nice. Everywhere the jams are just like we originally looked at. Just so nice. Doors shut right. Everything is nice. Like this is like new. A lot of times on the Volvos, these are broken. They're perfect.